The Ford government announced a massive change to the autism program today. The good news is they're going to eliminate the waitlist, which has 23,000 children on it. The bad news, they are going to base funding and cap it based on age. And a child with severe autism will get the same amount of funding as a child who is less severe on the spectrum. It is a crushing blow to many families.
I'm scared for him. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared for him. I'm scared for him of what he's come so far from the intense therapy. Like, I'm scared, like, where he's going to go from here.
Christina Fiorda's 7-year-old son Aiden has autism. Before getting intense ABA treatment less than 2 years ago, he couldn't do this.
N.
Under the government's new plan, a child entering the autism program at the age of 2 will be eligible to receive up to a maximum of $140,000 until they turn 18. A child entering the program at age 7, like Aiden, is eligible for a maximum of $55,000 until 18. But Aiden's current ABA treatment costs $60,000 every year.
So that's basically 1 year of therapy. Basically, like we're gonna you know what I mean? So that's basically what it is now. So it's basically, so he will have one more year of therapy, and then what? So that doesn't even the $140,000. That's if a child's getting the amount of therapy that my son is getting, then within 2 years they're not going to have any more therapy. So it really, what they're doing, I understand they're trying to cut the wait list 100%. I agree with that, but the way they're doing it is not right. The kids are just going to get hurt. You're only hurting them.
It seems to me what you've accomplished is you're clearing the wait list, you're giving more children access, but far less funds to be able to get the treatment that they need. How do you answer desperate parents who are saying this is not going to be nearly enough money?
Well, for 23,000 families, or 75% of those that are on the wait list, this will be a lot more money. It'll provide support and hope, and that's what we intended to do.
Autism advocates say this is exactly what they asked the government not to do.
I'm pretty devastated. It's one thing to say that you're going to clear a wait list. It's another thing to do it by setting hard caps on lifetime funding that kids can receive and basing those caps in part on age. The idea of the old program was to actually take into consideration the clinical need of the child and to fund the need. This one ignores need, and it provides equality, but it doesn't provide equity.
Parents of children with autism have had many battles with governments over the years. In 2016, they forced the Liberals to end a capped system with the hashtag Autism Doesn't End at 5. Christina is vowing to pick up the fight again.
I'm going to fight because that's what a mother does, and that's what you do for your child, and that's what you do for someone who cannot speak for themselves. You fight for them, and that's what I'm going to do and continue to do, and I will always fight for him.
Now, the funding is also based on income, so parents at higher levels will receive less money, and they'll be capped out altogether if they make over $250,000 a year. Now, one PC staffer, a father of 2 teenage sons with autism, is so upset about these changes, he quit right after the news conference today, and he'll be joining me live later on in the show. His name is Bruce McIntosh. Stay with us for that. I've been telling you about massive changes to the autism program made by the Ford government. Today they were announced, and a PC staffer who worked for the Ford government quit in disgust. This is Bruce McIntosh. You have 2 teenage sons who have autism. You were also the former president of the Ontario Autism Coalition.
That's right.
Bruce, why have you taken this step of quitting your job working for the PCs?
Well, as a legislative assistant, I would have been responsible for correspondence in response to inquiries, and I am not prepared to stay on and defend the indefensible.
And what is your concern with it? And you were actually working for an MPP who was working very closely on this file.
That's right. Well, the biggest concern is that the government has decided to move to a funding structure that does not reflect need. It's a cookie cutter. Everyone is going to get the same amount of money, and it will not be enough for the children and youth at the severe or high needs end of the spectrum, and it'll be too much for the kids at the milder or lower needs end. So,
now, they are reducing the waiting list with 23,000 children on it, and they're supposed to be doing that by 18 months. I mean, is that at least a silver lining here?
well, this is the same sort of stunt that the Liberals tried 3 years ago. You may remember the Autism Doesn't End at 5 campaign.
Yes.
They wanted to kick about a third of the kids on the wait list, the ones over 5 years old, off it and give them $8,000. This government wants to get rid of all of the kids on the wait list and give them $20,000 a year. The minister uses this $140,000 overall envelope, but it's capped annually. So it's not, you know, for a high needs child that's got a $70,000 or $80,000 a year program running right now, they're going to start getting $20,000. That doesn't even come close to what they need.
Okay, I have to start wrapping you up here, Bruce, but what do you anticipate will happen next? I mean, parents really organized in 2016 with the Autism Doesn't End at 5. What do you see happening now?
Well, we fought them in 2005. We fought them 3 years ago. We'll do it again. I really hope that they will listen, because what they're doing is wrong.
Bruce McIntosh, thank you very much for joining us. This is a story that had massive implications in 2016, and we have seen parents rally and have many protests in the past. We will continue to monitor this and see what the reaction is. We already know many parents are upset.